What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, and I just woke up to find a bunch of my videos demonetized. In case you've been out of the loop the last couple months, there's a thing going on called the Adpocalypse. This is where YouTube is trying to crack down on any questionable content in a way to try and draw in more advertisers for the website. This could be stuff like Call of Duty headshot montages or just stuff with a little bit too much edgy humor, but this is the first time I've really been hit with it. And overnight, it looks like every horror video I've ever made is now gone. Everything. And this is heartbreaking for a couple reasons. It's not about the money, it's the fact that so much of my early work is now shut off. And it makes me think about the fact that this is going to be so much harder for new YouTubers to come up. You know, back in the day, 2 years ago when I really started getting serious on YouTube, the first stuff I really started making was a lot of videos about Resident Evil, talking about the series, doing 5 strange facts about it, just stuff like that, because Resident Evil is a series that I consider to have a bunch of knowledge of. I literally own Resident Evil t-shirts, I've seen all the movies, including the animated ones, I've read all the books, and I actually really like them. I've tried to even find other stuff by this author just because I'm such a big fan of that series. But after writing all those videos about it, I ended up getting a bunch of subscribers, which really got my start. Finding a way to talk about Resident Evil gave me a voice to make other content and help my channel grow to the size it is today. And it makes me think, in a world where that opportunity doesn't exist, how are smaller YouTubers going to find their footing? If you're somebody who's just starting out and you are a big fan of horror games, what do you talk about? It just seems weird that they're getting stricter and stricter as to what is bad content. What if I just wanted to talk about Silent Hill, a series that is about psychological horror but has so many great psychological themes to it? It really breaks down the mind, the darkest corners of ourself. That's something that's incredibly important and cool to pick apart, but in this new YouTube environment, I guess that's inappropriate. It's just killing me, the fact that YouTube is trying so hard to get all these big advertisers to come back, they're going to drive away their own content creators. Now, we're coming up on October, and honestly, I had a bunch of really interesting horror-themed videos planned. A bunch, because this is a horror month. I wanted to do a couple good horror top 10s and tell you about my actual ghost story of encountering a ghost in a video game. Yes, I'm serious, but knowing that all that stuff's going to be demonetized is a little bit disheartening. I know that all the hours I spend on that content is going to earn me 0 cents. So it's weird to think that YouTube is just obsessively cracking down. There's probably going to be less horror Let's Plays. There's going to be less horror everything. There's going to be... I literally saw somebody who reviewed the new It movie. It's just them sitting on a camera and they demonetized it. Some of the stuff that they took offline from me makes sense, like top 10 most brutal deaths in gaming. Okay, I get it. You don't exactly want a Snapple ad playing before somebody getting their eyes gouged out. That makes perfect sense. But me talking about how great Resident Evil 7 is, that's a good game. It's a good product. Don't you want good products advertised before this? It makes no sense that YouTube is like so obsessed with keeping the advertisers happy, they're willing to let their audience be unhappy. They're trying to make their content creators alter their behavior, which is going to affect what they make. You know, a buddy of mine is Beat 'em Ups, Wood from Beat 'em Ups. I'll put his channel right here. He had a bunch of stuff on his channel demonetized last night as well, and that guy just talks about Nintendo. He's just a Nintendo YouTuber. Normally, he doesn't even show that much gameplay. It's just him sitting in his game room talking about really interesting Nintendo Switch stuff that appeals to him. And for some reason, that is no longer advertiser friendly. It just seems like we're entering a new dark age of Google, where they just want to make sure their image is so squeaky clean that they're willing to not let anything actually get out. I hope this somehow gets fixed, or else this is going to be a very light October. I'm so sad to see this keep happening. I mean, if you guys do want to help me out, Patreon, obviously, I don't mention my Patreon very often, but that would actually be a giant help. This has just been a random gaming rant because, honestly, it's really sad to me. I feel like I'm lucky enough to have walked across this nice bridge to get to this great picnic. This bridge was horror games. I walked across it, and now I'm on the other side, and it's being burned behind me. I feel bad for all the YouTubers who are trying to come up today. So hopefully they find a way to make money on here and go full time and keep growing, expanding, buy better equipment, and get an audience. But if they're not willing to actually pay anybody for their great ideas, I'm not sure that's going to happen. Well, guys, what do you think about this whole ridiculous Adpocalypse scenario? Let me know your thoughts down below. Sorry if I sound a little bit depressed, but honestly, this really is sad to me. I don't know. I just think about if I hadn't had the opportunities I had, I wouldn't be here today. If they had the Adpocalypse when I was trying to get started, I don't know if I ever would have been able to get a capture card or this microphone or anything. So, dang, it's a dark future ahead. Oh, hey, I was just playing a little bit of Grand Theft Auto on my Darth Vader PSP. Are you curious what I'm going to come out with next? Well, if you click this button, you'll be subscribed to be the first to know. Also, if you click over here and here, you can see my latest review and my latest top 10. I promise, it was super good. Or it was really bad, and I'm sure you can just make fun of me in the comments. Either way, it'll be a lot of fun. Thanks so much for watching.